WSCF Vero Beach. Christian FM.
This is Fighting Indians Football. Christian FM presents Fighting Indians Football.
WSCF Vero Beach, Christian FM.
Ronnie Self, Gary Paris, and Paul Tipton.
Well, hello, Vero Nation, and welcome to a warm Thursday afternoon where the first time, I believe, maybe in our broadcasting history, we are going to bring you one of our sub-teams. It's our freshman team here today as the freshmen wrapping up their regular season here today at the Citrus Bowl. So with that, we welcome you here to Billy Livings Field at the Citrus Bowl. The freshman team coming in here, led by their head coach, Alonzo Phillips, is at 5-2. Pretty good record, and I think what I'm most impressed about is the fact that they've actually got 7 games in. Usually at these lower levels, they don't always get all of their games in. There's always a lot of opportunity for cancellations, if you will. Hey, Vero Nation, it's Paul Tipton. Thanks for joining us. Along with me is GT Paris as we get set for tonight's contest against Tradition Prep, the Pirates. Now, this is a brand new school that's coming out of Port St. Lucie in that Tradition area. And because it's a new school, they are starting things a little slowly here, kind of like you see with new colleges or new universities, where they start with either like just practice squads or whatever. And this is kind of the format that they're taking here. So they've got a freshman and JV team that they've put together. They may do this for another year before they actually decide to launch a varsity squad. So it's an interesting situation. GT, this is the first time we've ever done, one of these kind of games, so it's going to be kind of fun to see the young talent for Vero Beach.
Yeah, you said, hey, would you like to do it? I said, yeah, because it is. We've never done the JV nor the freshmen all the way down. So it's nice to see the up and coming young kids. They are out here working just as hard as the varsity. They put in just as much time. And so it's nice to be able to call some of these up and coming names out that you're going to be hearing hopefully over the next couple of years. We can start now. And with Tradition, like you said, Paul, this is a neat concept. I think I like this concept. If you're a young school, instead of just going all in, I like this concept.
So Vero Beach won the toss. They elected to receive. It's going to be a short kick to the 35. Vero trying to return it and gets to the 39-yard line where Parker Banshoff makes the return for Vero Beach and sets them up around their own 40-yard line where it'll be first down and 10. And we will see names like Jackson Gravely, along with Jesse Lewis, Ben Diligent, Justin Woolard, and Ethan Sanford out there in the skill positions. In the backfield, it'll be Brian Carter and Randall Godwin at times. So we'll set up first down and 10. Start from our own 40-yard line. Quick check to the sideline. Is Vero Beach going to go with a 4-receiver set? Twins on either side. Gravely with the low snap, looking, pump fake, now rolled out of the pocket to the right, takes a look. He's going to fling it downfield in the middle, and it's deflected by Tradition, so it's incomplete. It'll bring up second down and 10.
Well, it was a low snap to start with, so whenever you have a low snap, high snap, especially with these young guys, it'll for sure throw the rhythm off. So he had a low snap. He did a good job. He had great blocking. It wasn't like he had, he had time to find his receiver. He just, that's a pass that you're going to say you don't want to throw across your body. You don't have quite that arm strength at this age to throw a 30-yard pass across your body down the middle of the field. Lucky that was not intercepted.
Yeah, you throw it up like that, and you never know what can happen, especially in the middle of the field. Trips to the left this time on second and 10. Handoff is going to go off the right side to the 45 to midfield into Tradition territory, and Godwin with the call.
Now you come right back with a nice inside handoff to Godwin. Godwin showed a little speed, but once again, I want to commend that blocking. They did a great job on that right side. Now, bear in mind with you guys that are listening at home or watching us, we are probably going to be a little bit late on some of these names as we learn them ourselves because these guys we do not know other than a couple of these kids that we've just heard about or know some of the parents. So some of these linemen especially, we'll try to get their names in. But that was a great job, and I'm going to use generic by the right side.
So first down and 10. Tradition 49 is where Vero Beach is at. Gravely, he's going to go down the sideline looking, and it's intercepted as the defensive back, the corner there, had better position than the receiver. And so a quick turnover by Vero Beach gives it to the Pirates.
Yeah, it was just a simple go route, bands off down the sidelines, and Gravely he underthrew the ball by about 8-9 yards. D-back had great protection. He was there the whole way. He wasn't fooled by it. That's a throw that Gravely needs to put farther, obviously down, but also onto the outside. He threw it to the inside and allowed the D-back that already had great position to make a pretty nice catch, because Banzoff was playing a good D-back there after he realized he couldn't catch it.
So the Pirates will take over at their own 30-yard line. There is no score. The Pirates will have their first possession of the ball game. And they'll come out with a spread formation as well. 4 receiver set, 2 on either side, 1 back in the backfield. As we get set on a 1st down and 10. Quarterback's flushed out of the pocket, trying to roll, and he gets stopped after about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, they line up in a similar spread like we do with a quarterback, and he just had the option to run it. And I believe that was Hatsky, and I might be saying it wrong, but Hatsky stayed home. He kind of mirrored the quarterback, and what he did was you just kind of, wherever he goes, you just kind of stay, and he stayed home, made a nice tackle.
2nd down and 8 for the Pirates. No score, and now a flag from the sideline. It's going to be a false start against the Pirates, so move them back 5 yards. Turns it into a 2nd down and 13 as we're at 8:24 here in the first quarter with no score. That ball get pushed back now to the 27-yard line. Pirates again going to go with a 4-receiver set, 2 on either side, a 2-by-2 setup, and 1 back in the backfield. Quarterback's going to flush out of the pocket, now flip it downfield, has a receiver over the middle of the field to the 45, to the Vero 45, and down around the Vero Beach 41.
It's a nice little throw, a little jump pass from the quarterback. He catches it in there. He takes 1 step to the left. He's got good blocking up front, so he had time, and he did like a little jump pass.
Yeah,
and he shows it. He's a lefty. A little lefty. He's a tall, little lanky kid, like most of these 9th graders are. But that was a nice pass.
So move the sticks into Vero territory. 1st down and fumble on the exchange there. Tradition able to get back on top of it, but it will be a big loss on the play, and Roll got into the backfield on that fumble.
Yeah, Christian Roll disrupted the play, and that's what you have to do when you kind of do those tricky. That was going to be a reverse. They were going to set up either a reverse or a fake reverse, but you have one. He handed it off to the running back. The running back was going to come around and the receiver, and he was going to either hand it off or fake it. But Christian, what he did was he had such great penetration, he was able to grab the runner, and luckily for Tradition that they were able to recover the fumble, but nice play by Roll.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 16 for the Pirates. The ball back at the Vero Beach 47. Pass on 2nd down, and they're going to say he caught it. Boy, that was awfully close to the ground, but he pulls it in, and it's around the 40-yard line of Vero Beach, where it brings it up to a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, it was a quick slant, just a 3-step route inside, trying to get rid of the ball quick, get some yardage, positive yardage. Nice catch. He went down on his toes. Like I said, we do not have a roster for them, so we're not going to be able to call any names. We're just going to call numbers. So number 2 made a great catch for Tradition.
On 3rd down, rolling out left. Pass was a swing pass intended for the running back, and Roll again with some penetration. Hurried up the quarterback maybe just a little faster on the throw than he wanted to, because he had his running back out there in the flat. He was open, had some real estate, but it's incomplete, and credit to Roll.
Well, that's what the penetration does. These young guys, you get somebody in their face sometimes. They don't have the built-in composure that a senior or junior has. They see that guy and they get rid of it fast, because, like you said, Paul, he had his running back and had plenty of room. It looked like if he does catch the ball, but to force 4th down.
So currently it's 4th down and 10. Offense is still out there on the field. Vero Beach kind of looking like they were set up for a punt. Now the safety will bring it back in a little tighter. Trips to the right side, and it's going to be a timeout taken by Tradition. Stops the clock here at 6 minutes and 16 seconds. We've got no score.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Hey, it's Lacey from Cafe 66. We support the Fighting Indians and invite everyone to watch the Friday night games with us while enjoying some barbecue or a burger and a big glass of sweet tea. And of course, there's pie. Then after a fun night of football, how about breakfast? We're open Tuesday through Saturday at 685 US 1. Get your foodie fix at Cafe 66.
So the Pirates looking at a 4th down and 10 at the Vero Beach 40-yard line. There is no score here. We've got 6:16 to go, first quarter. This is the freshman ball game here tonight. Is the freshman team for Vero Beach wrapping up its season. They come in here 5-2, ready to take on the Pirates here tonight on their first possession. They were able to get one first down and then an interception, turnover. Now the Pirates bringing it back the other way. But now looking at a 4th down and 10, we'll see what the Pirates are going to dial up as the offense still out on the field. They're going to go with a 4-receiver set, twins on either side and one back in the backfield. From the gun, quarterback's going to look, pump fake. Now he's going to roll out to his left, looking downfield. Lets it fly over the middle of the field. Wide open in the middle of the field at the 15-yard line is a receiver, and it's caught for a Pirate first down.
And Paul, that was a great play by that quarterback. That time he stayed with the composure. He never got out of a rhythm. He just took a step to the left. He bought some time. And what he did was, by doing that, there was no pressure on the outside. And it's hard for a D-back to keep guarding 4 receivers down the field after 5 seconds. You've just, basically, it's like playing sandlot. And when you have all that time, all you got to do is just find that zone. And that receiver and the quarterback hooked up, did a good job staying with himself. D-back, it just got kind of lost out there.
So valuable when you have a quarterback that can roll around and buy some extra time there for your offense. Gets them to the Vero Beach 16, 1st down and 10. Receiver's going to go in motion. Pressure coming. Quarterback rolling out to his right, flips it downfield to the back of the end zone. Too far and out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, one thing I can see early on is with this quarterback is you've got to learn, if you're a young guy, that you can't just come in there flying like you're going to make that sack. He has enough athletic ability, it looks like, and he has great peripheral vision. You can see he just sidesteps. So what you're going to have to realize now as a defensive coach, you're going to tell your guys, look, you've got to come outside in, and you can't just go for the kill shot. Mm-hmm. You've got to almost contain him. It looks like he's looking to get outside with his athletic ability, and there's where he probably feels more comfortable.
2nd down and 10 now for the Pirates at the Vero 16-yard line. 5:17 to go, first quarter with no score. Handoff off the left side to the 15-yard line, maybe the 14-yard line. It'll be a couple of yard gain, and right with the tackle for Vero.
Yeah, that time was off tackle, left handoff, inside, cross, and right. Made a nice little tackle about 2 yards down the field. So tradition is mixing it up a little bit of run, a little bit of pass here. So far, it looks very similar, very mirrored to the similar style that we run. And a lot of these schools are running this style.
Yeah. Everybody has their version of the spread now.
Yeah.
Except for Treasure Coast.
Well, don't forget.
We'll talk a lot about that tomorrow when we have our varsity game here at 7 o'clock. On 3rd down, pressure coming, able to step out of a few tackles, scramble to the 10-yard line. Boy, that's awfully close for a first down. It might be, by the mark, it is going to be 1st and goal at the 9.
Yeah, that's going to be a shame because Big Terry Hamilton, inside tackle, had him stopped for about a 3-4 yard loss. And this is where you see the elusiveness of this young quarterback. He was able to shake him off. And like I said, Terry's not a small guy compared to this guy. He's pretty stout boy up front. He just had him by the jersey, and when he was able to break free, you saw the speed and the elusiveness of him and was able to stay with it and pick up about 7 yards to force it to, 4th and 2, right?
Yeah, I guess actually they are going to count it as it did not make the line to gain, so 2 yards shy, 4th down at the 9-yard line of Vero Beach. Roll out to the right by the quarterback on a keeper. He's going to get to the 5, still on his feet to about the 3.
Well, that right there play was an option. So you know it's not your traditional option where you fake it to the tackle or to a fullback. What you do is you run down the line and you still have your running back as he's going to pitch. He has the option to keep it and pitch, reading off the tackle. That time the tackle went to the running back, and he just broke it off and picked up a nice first down.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside. It is going to be a 1st and goal for Tradition when we come back.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
So it's 3:32 to go here in the first quarter. Paul Tipton along with GT Paris here. We're at the freshman ball game here on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at the Citrus Bowl. Tradition off the turnover from Vero Beach. Vero Beach got the opening kickoff, got a first down, and then threw an interception. Tradition started from their own 30-yard line. They're marching down the field here. Thanks to the quarterback play, he's been able to scramble around quite a bit, buy some time for some passes, and able to use his feet to pick up yardage when needed to get him a first down, just like he just did there, where it's going to be first and goal inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Toss is going to go right to the running back, and a good job inside slash. That is number 21, Efren Rivers.
Yeah, that was another solid play by Efron. That's the second time he's made a good play coming up. He read that right off the bat. What that was a pitch. I mean, it's just a simple pitch. You've got lead blockers coming out on the right side and the tackle leading out. He was able to beat them across the ball, so they could not get out to him. So Efron sniffed it right away, got in the backfield, and that's what I said. If you can get it, that's what that penetration, and it went touch. But a good play by Efron Rivers.
So it's a 2-yard loss on the play. It's going to be second and goal from the 6-yard line. Twin receivers on either side for Tradition. Second and goal from the 6. Pressure coming in. It's going to be a sack. And the quarterback did not see Wetmiller coming in from that left side.
Wow, what a nice call by the defense over there. That was a timely blitz. A Wetmiller time. He didn't tip it. And the nice thing about it, because I was looking out there watching, I didn't see it coming, so he did a great job of timing it. And what he did was the left-handed quarterback, you would think, because he's coming from his left side, would have seen him. But what the quarterback was doing was he picked all the way to the right, so that he was going to the right and never saw Wetmiller, and Wetmiller just made a beeline. What a nice call. What a great sack by Wetmiller to take the quarterback down.
Inside 2 minutes to go the first quarter. It's at 1:48 and counting. Third down and goal now at the 13 for Tradition. Going to roll out to the left. Quarterback trying to shake off the pressure coming. Fires. And it was in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And it falls incomplete. Fourth down now for the Pirates and decision time for Tradition.
Big break for Vero because he had him open. Once again, the quarterback did a good job of getting outside, feeling his receivers looking. He keeps his head up downfield. I like this young quarterback. He just he threw a nice pass, and that receiver didn't do his quarterback any favors by dropping it. But what once was a 4th and 2 on the 2-yard going in, now it's 4th and on the 13. So Vero has done a great job, and let's see if they can pull this off. No kicking game, it looks like, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
So looking at a 4th down and goal from the 13-yard line for Tradition. There's no score in this ball game. Minute 35 to go, first quarter. This time set up with trips on the left side and a roll to the left side by the quarterback. All kinds of time. Now he's going to try to scramble after pressure came in. Stays behind the line of scrimmage, trying to direct traffic. Finds a receiver up in the air. Did he bring it down? A flag comes in. No signal on the touchdown. I can't tell if he caught it or not. It looks like maybe incomplete.
It looked like he caught it to me, but there is a flag down. And my immediate reaction, because it looks like it was so late, there was no pass interference. I was watching to see if there was any men downfield. I didn't see a man downfield. No, but I didn't see any. That was my first reaction because I knew there was nobody around him when he caught the ball.
Yeah,
so they're going to
that looks like the signal. Yeah.
And
ineligible downfield.
Oof.
Yeah.
You know, Paul, I looked, unless that guy came back. You know, he may have went downfield and came back because I looked and I didn't see anybody.
I think he did, G. I think that's what happened. The quarterback, he started to go forward, and then he stopped. He stayed behind that line.
Yeah.
So
that's
the linemen don't know that.
No, and he probably ran with him, and then he got back because that's what my immediate reaction was to count and see. And I didn't see it, but the referee saw it, so we'll take it because it looked to me as if he caught the pass.
So that's going to push the Pirates back to the 18-yard line. 4th and goal. 1:19 to go, first quarter, no score. Vero's had the ball one time, turned the ball over. Tradition now has had the ball. This is their first opportunity. They're trying to make the most of it, but they have really shot themselves in the foot after being inside at the 4-yard line. They're backed up now to the 18-yard line for 4th and goal. Fire down the middle of the field. A wide open receiver. Flag comes in. The signal is touchdown, but let's check this penalty here.
I didn't see what that one was either.
Is this a hold?
Oh, boy. So, two back-to-back touchdowns called
we
back.
got a hold. So call that one off the board, and they're going to back them up 10 yards now.
Man, what a nice pass and play. That was a seam route. So what they lined up was, we lined up in cover 2. So cover 2 tells you that you've got 2 D-backs. Typically, they play on the hash, and they kind of cover the middles of the out. So the most susceptible spot when you play a cover 2 is down the middle. They saw that, and they read it, and they sent a receiver right down the middle of the field. Their quarterback threw a line drive, perfect pass, perfect catch on that kind of defense. But once again, another bad penalty
holding
for tradition. So, wow, 4th and 30?
It's 4th and goal from the 30. 47 seconds and counting left in the first quarter. Pass over the middle of the field is caught at the 15 to the 10. Still on his feet to the 5. Trying to get there. Lost the ball. And it's recovered by tradition. But on a 4th and goal, you didn't get in. So that's going to be turnover on downs. A nice break for Vero Beach.
Great break. I don't know if he would have gotten in after the second, but the receiver made a great catch, made a nice move because he knew he had to get into the goal line. There was no option. You have to get into the goal. He made a fantastic spin, and then on his second hit to go around, he's trying to get in, and he just got the ball stripped. I didn't see who stripped it, but that was a great play by tradition. Vero broke a lot. We got a couple big breaks, 3 big breaks on that drive to stop him. Now, pin deep in our own territory. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, we're going to start from our own 6-yard line. 1st down and 10. 34 seconds left as McMillan in at quarterback on this series. 4 receiver set. McMillan from his own end zone finds his receiver, turns it upfield to the 10. A lane off the right side is the 30, 40, midfield. And out of bounds at around the 45-yard line of the Pirates, and Bonshoff with a reception and run.
Yeah, that was a great play by Parker Banzoff. He's been there from what I hear. I happen to have a daughter that's in 9th grade, and I know the parents, and I see them. Well, I think from what I've read and heard, he is their leading receiver with their most touchdowns. I think he's the one that has the most juice, I should say, out there, and you saw that right there. He just went up against another guy that had a lot of juice, but what a big play.
Big play by Bantoff there off the nice little pass from McMillan. Receiver in motion to the left side. McMillan, he's swinging it out to that receiver way too high, intended for Lewis. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play. No score in the first quarter, but that's probably a good thing because that means Vero dodged a pretty serious bullet. We got the second quarter coming up your way. Tradition, Vero Beach here at Billy Living's Field. Don't go away.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Field. Freshman game here on a Thursday afternoon. First time we've ever done one of these games. It's our pleasure to be here and welcome in Vero Nation. Glad to be here. Paul Tiffin along with GT Paris as we get set to start the second quarter. Tradition prep out of Port St. Lucie taking on your own Vero Beach Fighting Indians. No score as we get started with the second quarter. And McMillan's going to hand off the right side to the 45-yard line, and Carter this time gets the carry. Excuse me, Godwin
that time. Yeah, it was an inside handoff to Godwin, and he followed his right-hand side. Didn't get a lot. Picked up about 2 yards, but you've got to mix up some runs every now and then. I think, we haven't done that, so it just throws your defense off a little bit. They've got to respect it.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 8 for Vero Beach at the 44. And on the snap, McMillan not able to bring it in, and it's going to be another turnover for Vero Beach, the second one. This time it's a fumble recovered by Tradition.
Yeah, McMillan that time was a good snap. I want to make sure that we acknowledge the center. That was a good snap. McMillan just had his eyes up the field, not looking to catch the ball. You've got to get the ball first, young man, before you can do anything else. And he just bobbled it and turned it over and gave it back to Tradition. Now, for you guys that are just listening, so you might be going, well, who is Tradition? If you just tuned in to us on the TV and all that. So Tradition is out of Port St. Lucie, the Fort Pierce. A lot of us live here. You pass it on the right-hand side. They've started a school, so I didn't know this either until tonight. And I love what they're doing. They're not trying to go all in right away. They're 9th and 10th graders and 8th graders starting to build a program, and I think that's a smart idea. So some of you listening to us, who is Tradition? Well, that's who they are, Fort Pierce out of Port St. Lucie.
So let's see what they do with this turnover and this opportunity. Quarterback. Pump fake now. He's rolling out right, looking downfield. He's going to let it fly down the middle of the field. Red and white shirts there, and it's caught by the white shirts inside the 20 to about the 18.
Well, you got a lot of time, and then what the quarterback did was basically what we'll call a Hail Mary. He just throws the ball up as far as he can. Now, he's throwing into a pretty good wind coming out of the east. Yeah. We saw the first series, Vero's quarterback, he saw that. I think he underthrew. The wind got him on that one. Well, their receiver just went up over that. Now, like I said, that was basically a true Hail Mary because there was 4 Indians around him. Yeah. So he just went up over everybody and came down with a catch. Great catch.
Big first down for Tradition. Twin receivers on either side. This one a quarterback keeper trying to work off the right side behind a couple blocks. Flag comes in. Gets inside the 10-yard line. This one's coming back.
Yeah, that's in the zone where you're always going to get a hold right away. You had a quarterback design keeper. He took a snap, and there was a keeper all the way. He picked up some nice yards. I couldn't see the hold, but it was in that zone where it's always going to be in the hold. So.
And this is kind of what happened with Tradition on the last series. They got down. They were actually at the 4-yard line, 1st and goal, and then they ended up all the way back to the 30-yard line on 4th and goal because of penalties.
Yeah, they'll see if this holds up again, if they shoot themselves in the foot.
So let's push that ball back a little bit. It'll be around the 29-yard line. First down. Looks like about 1st and 21. So one back in the backfield, 4 receivers. It's a 2-by-2 setup. On first down, looking to throw over the middle of the field, has a receiver there, and it's broken up by Vero Beach. Good job on the defense as number 41, Wetmiller, gets in there to break that pass up.
Yeah, nice job by your outside linebacker, Wetmiller. We called his name again. He made a great sack earlier. This time he stays back in defense. He stays with his receiver. The receiver comes across his face, and what he does is he's playing his zone. So he just, as the receiver comes across his face, then he becomes his man. And now you pick him up, and he did a great job of reaching around, but not grabbing on his back like we see so many young guys do. Good job by Wetmiller.
So, incompletion. It's the 2nd and 21 now for Tradition with no score. Quarterback is going to he's going to thought about running, instead flips it ahead to a receiver to the 20-yard line. And that is Frederick that makes the tackle, but a good job by Tradition. Again, the quarterback buying just enough time and tricks the defense into coming up, and then he just sends it right over the top.
But I'm okay with that, Paul. You know why? Because it was 2nd and about 20 yards. So I'm okay giving up 5 underneath there. So I like what Frederick did. He stayed back. He left the guy in front of him. You know, when you see the guy in front of you, you keep him in front, you allow him to get that 5 or 6 yard pass, and then you make a big hit, and that's what Frederick did. So I'm okay with that one.
Looking at a 3rd down and 12 for Tradition from the 20. Quick pass off the right side. Oh, the receiver had it right there. It was right through his hands. He catches that. He has a first down for sure. Might have had an opportunity to get into the end zone. Instead, it brings up fourth down for the Pirates.
Yeah, that's a simple slant again. They like that. That's that quick hitter. What they do is they get out there and they look and see how far your D-backs are off. And you have an option. Okay, if the D-back's about 7 or 8 yards off, you have that option. You do a quick slant. It's there if they want it. We've got Jackson Rahal is the D-back out there, and he's playing a very, very loose coverage. And that's their call. But that's the one route right there. If you're playing 6, 7 yards off, the hitch and the slant is going to be there. So all day long.
Let's see what they do on fourth down and 12 over the middle and broken up by Rivers. And that's going to be turnover on downs again.
Turnover
Vero Beach
on downs.
defense.
And Rivers again, once again. So we're calling some of these same names you're seeing, especially with those linebackers and those inside corners. But Rivers has made about 3 big plays in this game in the first half already. That was a nice place because, like I said, if he doesn't get his hands on that, that's a first down. So, once again, young kids bend a little bit, but they don't break. But tradition, giving up some big mistakes.
All right, so now we're looking at the third possession by Vero Beach. The first 2 have resulted into turnovers. There's no score in this ball game. That's good news. 6:57 to go in the second quarter. And looking at Woolard, it's Justin Woolard coming in at quarterback. Like a Wildcat maybe formation. Woolard reverses field off to the left side. Flag coming in from the backside. Woolard with a big run gets to the 45 of Vero Beach. Got a feeling this is all coming back.
Yeah, I didn't see the hold. I think he got a little rambunctious. You know, sometimes especially on these games, you got to let these young kids play a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
picking
it
up.
Off. Okay, so they're going to wave it
off.
off.
Flag. So
okay.
That's going to turn that into a nice big run.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I told you right away. I did not see a hold. I think he anticipated a call, but what happened where Woolard dropped the ball? Woolard, like you said, they are definitely going to call a flag on the coach here.
Yeah, that's going to be I don't know if they're going to give him a sideline warning or they will give him a personal foul here, unsportsmanlike. But Woolard able to get that ball all the way to the Vero Beach 43-yard line.
Yeah, you can't argue with the ref. I mean, he admitted he threw the flag, and it happens. He threw it, and he goes, I didn't mean to throw it. But you can't go off on the coach on the sideline. Now what you've done is you've just cost your team 15 more yards by being silly. And that's no call for that. And especially you've been moving the ball pretty well, so you just cost them 15 yards.
Yeah, you did.
And you're not, and you're also not setting a very good example.
Well, that's true too. So that puts it into Pirate territory now at the 42-yard line. Woolard's going to hand off this time, off the right side, past the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Godwin getting the call again.
Yeah, so what we're doing now, Paul, is we're going in that simple wildcat, where you just line up a running back in the backfield. And now, so that tells me that they're content just going to probably most likely run the ball. Now who? You've got 3 running backs basically back there. So now you can hand off, run. You've got a lot of options with the running game.
Second down and 6. Hand off the left side. Flag comes in. This time, Carter on the carry. Let's see what they call here as far as a penalty. I'm guessing probably hold as well. It's usually right in that same area.
Yeah, the referee
might have been a receiver holding.
Yeah, he signal hold out there. So, yeah, and you're saying on that big wide sweep, that's, he's looking at the receiver right there, and he sees it firsthand, so he's going to call it.
So that's going to put Vero Beach back behind the chains now. They were moving the ball. They had a 2nd and 6. And Carter had a pretty decent run. They were going to be looking at a 3rd and short. Instead, it's going to back the ball up near midfield and turn it into a 2nd down and 49. Or excuse me, from the 49, it'll be 2nd down and long. Water break. We'll step aside. We'll come right back.
HBS Glass is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians Athletics and Christian FM. Since 1973, HBS Glass has served homeowners, architects, and contractors in the Vero Beach area. HBS Glass offers hurricane impact windows and doors. HBS Glass, 722 3rd Place or hbsglass.com. Thanks to HBS Glass.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network. Brought to you by Masters Academy, Vero Beach. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
And welcome to a Thursday evening here at the Citrus Bowl. Paul Tipton along with GT Paris is covering a freshman game here. First time we've ever done this. And right now the freshman looking at a 2nd down and 17 from the tradition 49-yard line. It's going to be a handoff off the left side. Boy, it was a big hole. It closed quickly, though. Able to get to about the 45-yard line. Godwin again on the call this time. Gets it to the 44 of the Pirates. There's no scores. We're 5.5 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we got McMillan there at quarterback. Not your typical, prototypical quarterback, I would say. He's a little short, a little stout. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's up under center on this one. 3rd down and 12. It's going to be a handoff off the right side. Bands off, trying to get to the edge, turns it, but won't have enough for a 1st down. So now it's going to be 4th down and probably about 6 or 7. And Coach Phillips has got a decision to make here. Do you punt and pin deep, or you try to go for it?
You know, on this side with this kind of a game, I'd say you go for it. I'd say, at best you're going to maybe get, a few yards down to the 10. If you don't get it, you don't lose a lot. I mean, and it's freshman football. Let's see what you got.
Now the offense is still on the field. McMillan at quarterback will set up in the gun. 4 receiver set. Looking left. He's got a receiver over there. Woolard. Flags are going to come in. Woolard gets to the 34-yard line. It's not enough for a 1st down. So let's check to see what the penalty is. Tradition, if it's against Vero Beach, Tradition probably decline this one and take the ball.
Oh, I would, for sure. Yeah. Decline it. They didn't pick it up, but it was a nice throw by McMillan. He just you kind of got to let that play develop a little bit more. When it's he's young and all these guys are young, but when you've got a 4th and about 8. You've got to kind of maybe say, hey, I can't go to my 4th and 4 guy. I got to find that 4th and 10 guy.
Yeah.
Unless he's just wide open and nobody out there. But it was a nice throw and nice catch. But once again, you can't. It just shows you what penalties will do. Penalty on the hold out there negated all those good plays.
Totally did. So we'll be turnover on downs. Decline the penalty. Ball is at the 34 of Tradition. Pirates come out. There's no score. 4:55 to go, second quarter. And twin receivers on either side with one back in the backfield. Play action. Quarterback rolling out to his left. He's got it tucked like he wants to go, and then he slipped a little bit like he wanted to make a cut back. And that's going to be a tackle for a loss back to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, no, he was. He was going to try to cut back, but Terrence Lee, our big, tall defensive end, did a good job. What he did was that time he did what he was supposed to do. He stayed home. He did not go for the fake. He stayed home, and what he did was force their quarterback to make some moves, and he put the pressure on the quarterback for Tradition. All he did was do his assignment, and that's what happens sometimes when you do an assignment. Usually good things happen.
2nd down and 12. Twin receivers on either side. Quarterback looking. Pressure coming. Oh, it looked like a block in the back. It's good. Definitely got a good shove. But there's tried to make a shoulder tackle. Thankfully, a couple other shirts there to help clean that one up, and that'll be a sack on the quarterback as you had Wright coming in there, flying up and laying a shoulder on the quarterback.
Yeah. Now, Coach is going to say, hey, it was a nice hit, son, right? But if you have the opportunity, put your arms around him. He just tried to take a big shoulder or forearm, and we've seen this quarterback be able to absorb those kind of hits already young. But what nice pressure down the field. Quarterback didn't have anywhere to run, and Vero, that time, like I said, the kind of quarterback here, you got to keep him in. Try to keep him in the hash marks. If you can keep him within the hash marks, you can see he's not as comfortable there. He wants to get outside, and that's where he seems to be most potent.
Believe it or not, they actually gave him a yard gain.
Yeah,
he picked up really sure how he did that, but okay. So it will be a 3rd down and 11 at the 33. Inside 3 minutes remaining before we get to halftime. No score. And a timeout will be taken by Tradition. We'll step aside, come back, and look at a 3rd down and 11.
Wild Time Catering is a Christian FM business partner that believes in giving back to the community, and they love supporting Fighting Indian sports. Since 2011, they've been the Treasure Coast caterer of weddings, corporate parties, birthday parties, and celebrations of life. All their services are online at cateringverobeach.com.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system. Thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
Back here at Billy Living's Field at the Citrus Bowl, Paul Tipton along with JT Parrish we're covering a freshman game here tonight for Vero Beach. So Vero Nation getting your glimpse at the future Indians here that we may see on Friday nights. And speaking of Friday nights, tomorrow night we're here at the Citrus Bowl to take on Glade Central. Varsity squad will kick off at 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. with countdown to kickoff. And on a 3rd down and 11, Tradition going to wind up and let it fly down the field. And that one will go incomplete. Good coverage by Vero Beach. You had Benjamin there along with Mooney.
Yeah, so that was once again, into this stiff breeze. Well, there's kind of died down a little bit now, but it was basically just to go for everything and throw it as far and high as I can. And we had 2 good D-backs. Like you said, Benjamin and Mooney played it good. They didn't allow the receiver to get off their shoulder, and like I said, it was just going to be a jump ball for anybody to go up and grab.
So 4th down. So far, we have not seen either team pull out a kicker or a punter.
I don't think there is one. They don't have a lot of guys to begin with. They're a small number of players on that field, and obviously, they just don't have a punter.
So it looks like traditional offensive setup. Oh, movement there. False start on the guard. And that is going to move them back 5 yards.
So good reaction by Tyson.
Tyson was
Joseph Tyson coming off the line of scrimmage. He saw the left guard move. He did exactly what he's supposed to do when that guard moves, shuffles, does anything.
Yeah.
He flew off the ball. So that was a good play by Tyson out there. So that way to be heads up. And once again, Tradition has pushed themselves back, forced a long 4th down.
So looking at a 4th down and 16, Tradition's going to send 2 receivers on the left side, 2 on the right. Swing pass to the running back. But good pursuit by the Indians. Stopped at the 30-yard line. It'll be turnover on downs. Yeah. And Vero will get another opportunity here. This time, the porch is a little shorter this time, G.
Oh, very short. And once again, we're going to call Efron Rivers making a nice play out there. He saw the screen. There's only so many plays you can have at 4th, and you really don't have a lot of 4th and 20-some plays. That play was designed to hopefully get some space, and Efron never got out of position, made a nice tackle. And like I said, we keep calling that kid's name, and he's done a good job so far in this first half of making big plays.
Gravely coming back in at quarterback for Vero Beach. He's got a 2-by-2 set up on receivers. 1st down and 10 at the 31. Handoff, left side. Godwin trying to bounce it out left and stopped at the 25.
Good job by Godwin. Finally able to find some room over there. He hasn't been able to. Everything he's been running is inside, and he finally was able to get a hole on his left side and cleared out a big tackle open, and he just followed him and picked up about 8 yards. This is a big run. First big run yet.
Yeah, good 6-yard run. Turns it into 2nd and 4. We'll tighten up the formation. This time up under center. Flag coming in from the Tradition sideline. And it's going to be a false start against Vero Beach.
Didn't see it, but that's not to say it didn't happen. So we are going to penalize us. I didn't see it. I didn't see who moved either, the ball. But
it'd be a 2nd and 9 now for Vero Beach instead of 2nd and 4. Clock coming down to 2 minutes remaining before we get to halftime with no score. Vero Beach on the Tradition 30. Gravely, hands off on a counter, right side. A little bit of a hole to the 20. Inside the 20, close to the 15. That'll be a Vero first down. Stops the clock momentarily at 1:44.
And there's Parker Banzoff again. There's the kid who has really quick feet. He's an undersized kid. He's not, like I said, he's not very big. He's probably 5'7", 5'8", maybe. But he's got very good feet, and he seems like he has a very good knowledge of football. He seems to be in the right spots. He knows where he had to go. He knew where the first down was. But I like his he's tough. He's a tough little kid.
First down and 10 for Vero Beach at the 16. No score. 1:23 and counting. Gravely waits for the snap. Hands off, right side. Got some good blocks to the 10.
Oh, face mask.
Oh, yeah, and the late flag coming in. There will be a face mask more than likely.
Big face mask. That's going to be a personal foul.
Yeah, that's going to set us up on a 1st and goal pretty short.
But that time you got Brian Carter coming off from the left side, handoff underneath. Did a good job of staying right behind his blockers. And then once he saw that he had the opening, he exploded. And then his receivers were out there blocking for him. And the D-back, it wasn't intentional. He just was trying to make a tackle, but he just happened to yank his neck. But a nice pickup by Brian Carter. So back-to-back, we've seen 3 good big runs in a row.
1st and goal. And timeout will be taken by tradition. Stops the clock at 58 seconds with no score here. Paul Tipton along with G.T. Paris. We're also joined now by our head coach for the varsity squad, Lenny Jankowski. Coach, I know this is kind of an interesting time for you. You get a chance to see some of the young talent that, will be coming up the ranks here a little bit. When you're watching a game like this, is there particular skills that you're looking for, or what are you trying to do when you evaluate the freshman team?
Yeah, I think all of that, you're obviously looking for, execution, but you're also looking for, hustle and how guys are getting lined up. And I've just, it's an opportunity really to watch these coaches. Alonzo Phillips is our head freshman coach. Have been working with these guys since the summer. And what's really neat about that is, Coach Phillips is an alum. A really good player here, and he's back to help out. Doing the defense over there is Calvin Moment Jr., and he's our D coordinator for our freshman team. He was a player for us, and to watch these guys, grow up and mature, and then give back and help out here with the freshman team.
As Carter through the middle found a nice hole thanks to that offensive line, scores from 6 yards out, and Vero Beach on the board.
Oh, nice job by Carter that time. He just inside. Right behind the tackle. That's where you're just going to play smash mouth football when you want to get down there, follow your guard center. And that time Brian did a great job of following the big boys up front to pick up the touchdown.
But yeah, just to answer the question, you look at it all, and this is our last freshman game this season, and a lot of teams around here don't have freshmen.
Yeah, so Lewis puts it through the uprights and makes it 7-0.
Well, we were talking about that too. This is, for them to have 7 games, I think they're going on their 8th game. This team, so it's rare to even see that. You get some of these teams, freshmen, they're lucky to get 3 games in a season, or they might get some of them get pulled up to JV and they get a couple extra plays in there. But it's nice to see have their own games. We have, especially with COVID, we haven't seen it. They've kind of these teams bailed out, and doing that. And Lenny, you have to fight schedules and put schedules together. And, it's not easy when you have teams that, on their varsity only field 30 guys or 35 guys, more or less when you get down to that level. So it's good to see these freshmen getting to play against true freshmen.
No doubt, and that's what we try to do. We try to keep our freshmen together, and they get an opportunity, coming from different middle school programs to get together. Obviously, going to school together at the Freshman Learning Center, and then come out here and play a season together. It's a pretty neat deal.
Well, and Lenny, let me ask you this: a lot of people haven't been able to watch some of these JV and freshmen. How close would you say, or with the design of the offense and defense, is it to, or do we try to mimc exactly?
Well, I think in an ideal world, you try to do as much as possible. I think the most important part of it is the lingo, the language. So the kids learn the language. Obviously we're not going to, our coaches get to, put their little thumbprint on it and do what they like to do and do what they feel comfortable to do. But I think there's a framework there, and they work within that framework and in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, so that when you have an opportunity to move a guy up at the end of the season or go into spring ball next season, these guys have a foundation, and I think that's been critical.
Yeah. So on the kickoff, the ball bounced into the end zone. It was picked up by Tradition, returned to the 17-yard line, where the Pirates will have it first down and 10. Trailing now to Vero Beach 7-0 with just 42 seconds remaining before we get to halftime. Tradition going to spread it out. Two receivers on either side. Quarterback looking downfield. He's going to fire it down the middle of the field, and it's batted twice by Vero Beach and falls incomplete. Good job by Taylor to get his hands on there. That's a nice tall kid there.
Yeah, Rupert Taylor, your middle linebacker that time, he's playing defense pass. He's reading there's no sense that he knows that most likely they're going to play pass, so he gets plenty of depth. What he does is he just keeps his eyes on the quarterback. He follows him, gets his hands up, and he was upset with himself. He didn't intercept it, but that would have been a heck of an interception. But good job by Taylor.
2nd and 10. And play will stop before it gets started as it's going to be, it looks like it may be against Vero Beach.
Both those inside backers, guys, they came all summer and worked out, and Rupert Taylor and Marvin Wright, and it's great to see them work out through the summer, and then get to watch them here on Thursdays and get them see them do their thing.
So it is against Vero Beach, and it will move the ball up 5 yards, turn it into a 2nd and 5 from the 22 for Tradition, who's trailing Vero Beach 7-0. 34 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Pirates going to go with a stack on both sides. Swinging out left. Looking like a double pass maybe, but instead, good pursuit by Vero Beach.
Yeah, you're right,
Tackle
Paul.
for a loss.
That was going to be a double pass. He was going to throw that back over across the field to number 5, which we've seen him. He is one of their better athletes. But Vero just was a swarming, never gave him that chance to get the ball comfortably in his hands. And a good job, good tackle.
So 3rd and 5. There's a timeout on the field. So, Coach, I know we had a chance to talk earlier today. Tomorrow, obviously, you got Glade Central. What's the preview for tomorrow night?
I think it should be a great game. We're obviously coming off a tough district loss against Treasure Coast, and looking forward to the great thing about the next Friday night is you put whatever happened, the good, bad, or indifferent behind you, and you get an opportunity. And I think we obviously have plenty of challenges ahead of us tomorrow with Glade Central coming to town. They're extremely athletic and have played a tough schedule up to this point, so they're battle tested, and they're always one of those teams in the end. That you can plan on them being there in the end. They're always making a run at a state championship, and so really looking forward. I know that since I've gotten here to Vero, and it's been 11 years already, there's been a lot of talk about trying to get Glade Central on the schedule, and we've tried to do it over the years, and so we're looking forward to them coming here and getting an opportunity to see what it's all about.
Well, and I think you said it. They're always a bunch of good athletes down there, and I think people are going to say, well, they've lost 3 games. But if you dig deeper into their schedule, they've played some really good teams, and they've lost by very little. So don't let that fool you.
Yeah, so I know 2 of their losses. One came, I think it was a 1-point loss to Booker T, and then Carroll City was another close game. And both those 2 teams from Dade County are always going to be top-notch.
For sure.
Off the reception, a good run after catch will set up Tradition for a first down. Stops the clock momentarily with 7 seconds. This may be the last play before we get to halftime here, depending. They're going to take a timeout.
Call timeout. They're going to try one more play. And now, this is where you've got to go. This is where, as a young coach and also players, you've got to know time, and you've got to know field position and know what are they going to try to do here. Obviously, they got 7 seconds, so you can't get beat deep. Anything in front of me is fine. I'll give up anything in front of me, 10, 15, 20 yards. I just cannot allow any receiver to get past me, and I don't want this quarterback getting outside. You've seen what he likes to do. He wants to get outside, scramble, and throw the ball down the field. So I'd like to see my DNs stay containment. They don't have to get a sack, but keep this quarterback in and keep everything in front of me as a D-back. And so when you're evaluating, like coaches up here, this is what, you want to see what these young kids do, and they learn, and their football knowledge. You're trying to see their football knowledge and which kids have it and which kids are developing it.
Sure, and this is obviously a learning experience as well. As Vero Beach going to line up here, it's going to be a 1st down and 10 at the 33. Tradition is going to set up. Twin receivers on either side. One back in the backfield, set up left side of the quarterback. Snap, rolling out to his left. Pressure coming, he flings it down. He's got a receiver there, caught at the 39. Pushes towards the 45-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half of play.
And that's okay. You just keep everything in front of you. Give up the 1st down. That's no big deal. So it ends going to end up at halftime, Vero up 7-0. Tradition, move the ball. Penalties cost them. Vero had a turnover early, but prevailed, and now we're leading.
We'll step aside. We'll come back in just a few minutes. It's Paul Tipton along with GT Paris and Coach Jankowski here. Freshman game here at the Citrus Bowl. It's halftime, and Vero Beach leading 7-0.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Thanks to Longevity Rehab Centers in Vero Beach and Sebastian, owned by locals whose mission is to help heal those who are hurting with a goal of getting them back to a productive life. Longevity Rehab has built a reputation of trust with their clients from the top down, offering both physical and massage therapy designed to restore, relieve, or maintain a healthy lifestyle. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, United Healthcare, Health First, Medicare, and most insurances are accepted. LongevityRehab.com.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
The Fighting Indians Halftime Show is brought to you by Genesis Church. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indian, Tipton.
Here to the Citrus Bowl, Billy Livings Field. Freshman game here on a Thursday evening, and right now it's halftime. Vero Beach is leading 7-0. Saw some interesting play here, GT, in the first half of play. Vero Beach on its first 3 possessions, really, turnovers. 2 actual turnovers and then turnover on downs. And but in the end, Vero Beach able to get some offense going and able to get in the end zone and make it a 7-0 lead here at halftime.
Well, what I liked what the coaches made the adjustment was the passing game wasn't quite working out like they wanted it to, so they went and got behind the run, and they said, okay, let's get this, let's get something going, let's get some positive notes. We moved the ball, had some nice solid runs, picked up 7. They'll come in at halftime, they'll talk some things over, and they'll try to go back out and see if they can mix in some good passing, because a couple of them were there, they just weren't effective on it.
Coach Jankowski with us here as he's getting set for tomorrow night's game with the varsity crew, 7 o'clock here at the Citrus Bowl to take on Glade Central. Coach, as we look at this freshman team, and I wish we could have had an opportunity to really do one of the JV games as well. I think next week, I think they finish up their season on the road, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, or maybe it was this week that they finished up. But regardless of that, you had some new coaches that you brought in for both programs. Do you try to work with those guys through the course of the season, or do you do some kind of evaluation near the end of the season, or how do you work with your coaches and because they're kind of learning on the fly as well, right?
No doubt. So this particular, I think each individual case is unique, but in this situation, so we mentioned Alonzo Phillips, who's taken over the freshman program, and Coach Phillips started this spring with us, and in spring with spring football here in Florida, we do everything together. So we've got it's basically what we see out here, these ninth graders, so they'll be rising sophomores in the spring. So it's everybody that's returning in your program, and he was out there with us and worked both sides of the ball, learning both sides of the ball, learning the language, putting in double time. And really what I saw there was just somebody who's genuinely interested in, first and foremost, what we're doing, and ultimately, contributing and giving back wherever he could, wherever we needed him. And I just, I can't say enough about what he's brought to the freshman program, and his energy and his passion for it has been great. So, yeah, I think you start there, and then on our JV, we had Coach Lance Roach, who took over as the head JV coach, and Coach Roach, played for me, when I first got here, and went on and played some in college, and then came back, and he's been working with our varsity, with our offensive line, and I think, just listening to GT talk about the early struggles maybe in the passing game, I think at this sub-varsity level, trying to get that offense to click usually it starts up front, where we're lucky with the sub-varsity teams, having a guy like Lance Roach, who his forte is offensive line. Now you put that stuff together. He had the opportunity to work with some of these freshmen when we're starting through the summer. And have knowledge and working with these younger guys has been key. Of course, we had longtime coaches that have worked with our sub-varsity teams. Brian DeBeula this year has been here longer than any coach in any sport.
Wow.
Stepped away. He's still teaching with us, and he's still a close friend and close to the program, but stepped away from being the head JV coach this year. So that was tough, but having these guys in our program, comfortable with our program, like I said, talk language and teaching it to these young kids is invaluable.
Let's switch gears here a little bit. Coming off the game from last week against Treasure Coast, that pretty much takes out the district title out of the picture now. Of course, we all want to know what the playoff picture might look like, and we still got these 3 games. I know, obviously, you want to win all of your games, but looking at the kind of like the RPI picture right now, what does it look like? What do you know about it right now with these 3 games remaining?
Yeah, so just to explain the RPI and how the playoffs work, and this started, I think, last year, maybe the year before, where we've got 4 districts in our region, and so the district champions get the automatic bids, and then from there you get 4 at-large bids, and that's based on the RPI rankings, your overall record, your strength of schedule, and then your opponent's strength of schedule. Well, whether there's not many programs that have played the strength of schedule that we have, and then I think the flip side of that is who they play. So when you're playing prominent programs, you mentioned Glade Central has 3 losses. Well, their losses are to big time programs. So whatever that magic formula is, our opponent, that comes into play with the RPI. So our RPI should always be, as long as we're winning games, should always be near the top, and so that's that. But to be quite honest, you mentioned the district championship and the RPI rankings. The events that are out of our control, we really don't spend a lot of time messing with, just because it is out of our control. So
Sure.
So the things that are in our control, like playing this Friday night. I think we've got to keep our eyes on the road there, get back on track. Really, just they're in a 42-21 loss. You think, well, there may not have been a ton of positives, but experience has value, and we certainly had some good things tonight. It certainly didn't end the way we wanted to, and the results weren't favorable for us and Vero fans. But we certainly have some things that we can take away from that game and be a better team because night. But yeah, that's kind of the deal, and those RPI rankings will determine those next 4 spots in our district. So championship, as far as we know, we've got to take care of business. There is, a chance everybody has a district game that remains. Treasure Coast is in the driver's seat for some big wins and are off to 2-0 start, but they've got Centennial down the road, and that's always a tough task. So you never know what can happen. I feel like in the end, maybe we'll see those guys down the road.
All right. Well, we're going to step aside here for just a moment. We're halftime here at the Freshman game at the Citrus Bowl, where Vero Beach is leading 7-0. We'll be back right after this.
A septic system is only Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system thanks to reliable septic service. 772-562-4242.
Wild Time Catering is a Christian FM business partner. To the community, and they love supporting
are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning.
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-449. Roy Bell Grading Services.
Brought to you by Genesis Church. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Well, tonight it is a Thursday night. The freshman team here on a Thursday night here at the Citrus Bowl. And the freshman team, the Vero Fighting Indians, taking on the Tradition Prep Pirates. And Coach Jankowski joining GT Paris and myself. And Coach, you were telling me a little bit about Tradition here. It's a brand new school in the Tradition area there in Port St. Lucie area. And were you telling me that I think they only go up to 9th grade right now?
Well, I think it's actually freshmen and sophomores. So this is a first-year school, first-year football program, and I don't know if our fans are familiar with this, but a lot of times when a school is just starting out, they'll start with just freshmen and sophomores, and then each year, these guys will be a year older, and they'll bring in another freshman class. So next year there'll be freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, and then in 2 years they'll have a full 4-year class. So yeah, it's a charter school down in Tradition, which is in the Port St. Lucie area. They play their home games. Our freshmen earlier this season played a game down there in Port St. Lucie, and they played their home games at Sportsman Park. And that's I think it's a temporary deal for them, but that's a local park that's been down in Port St. Lucie forever. And it was great to hear that's being used, and that's where they're playing their home games. And I know that it's been used for a lot of youth leagues and rec football and those kind of venues. Used as that venue. So it's exciting to have a new school in town, and really been impressed. In my time watching them, I didn't get to make it down there to the game down in Port St. Lucie, but just watching these guys out here, they look to be very organized and have their stuff together. Not huge in numbers, but exciting stuff.
And Coach, everybody knows you as the head coach, but you're also the AD, the athletic director, and you have to put that hat on half the time, or I don't know how you manage that in your position. So When are you already now working on next year and then following year schedules, or how? Give us a little insight of as a head coach, and then what you have to do as the AD, because you have to oversee everything.
Yeah, so just from a football standpoint, football is typically scheduled on a 2-year contract and or a 2-year cycle, so to speak. Well, the FHSAA, which is the governing body for Florida high school athletics, this year we went on a 1-year cycle, and from what I understand, the reason for that is to get back even with our bordering states like Georgia and Alabama, so that if there are games that you'd like to do out of state, and I think it's a little more common up in the northern part of the state, and in the Panhandle where they cross over and play. But it made sense for us this year. It was a COVID year last year. Everything was junked up. Yeah. So and what they're going to do at the end of this season is they're going to reclassify. So they're going to do all new districts and everything like that. The last several cycles where they've that stuff has changed, we've stayed consistent with our district. So you just never know how that's going to go. And if you get into a larger district, with us, we've only got 3 district games. So you look to schedule 7 on the varsity level, 7 non-district games. So we'll wait to see how that turns out. But yeah, I think you get some feelers out, and obviously we have some schools traditionally that we like to play. That some of the teams that traditionally are on our schedule year in and year out.
And you said it earlier, and it's so much different than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago with that RPI, with the strength of schedule. So you've got to constantly be thinking about that. What games can I go play outside of where you normally wouldn't play to, because you got to think about that. How important is your strength of schedule when you do that?
Yeah, and you have to be, Nostradamus to try to predict that, because, you don't know what your opponent is going to schedule. So if it's based on your opponent's schedule, or your opponent's record, and then their opponent's record, it's pretty tough and near impossible. What we look to do, and I've done this really since I've gotten into coaching, and the best teams possible, and let the chips fall where they may. But that's kind of where we're at with scheduling, and this year's schedule is really each and every week has been a nice and unique kind of challenge, and really I can say that about the last several years. So we'll see how it plays out.
Getting ready to start the second half here. Vero Beach won the toss. They received in the first half. They'll kick off to start the second half. Kicked off, bobbled around the 10-yard line, picked up, and tackled right at the 13-yard line. Coverage by Vero Beach, and Tradition will start.
He's a lineman. So you never know, or a quarterback going to a lineman, as in my case. But you never know with these kids that and that happens at all levels, really, especially at the high school level, where a kid might have been a linebacker now and ends up being a great running back, something, or vice versa. So you've got to, and that takes talent with the eye to put that kid where he needs to be.
Penalty against Vero pushes the ball up to the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for the Pirates. Swing pass left side and out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. Nice little pickup for the Pirates. 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. 7-0 lead for Vero Beach.
They've got a couple good athletes, and you can see that a couple of their athletes are physically gifted, and those are the guys that they're getting the ball to. Like I said, once again, we apologize. We do not have a roster for them, so we are just having to call numbers. But that time, Antoine did a good job. Antoine Frederick stayed with the big running back, just rode him out of bounds, allowed him to pick up 4 yards.
Second down and 7. Pirates are going to have a 4-receiver set. Back's going to go in motion to the right side. Pass over the middle is caught. Stopped at about the 48-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Pirate first down.
Yeah, I like this quarterback for Tradition. He's a kind of a gunslinger in the sense that he kind of throws the ball a little sidearm. Mm-hmm. He's tall, but he's a good athlete. So you've got a good athlete back there with a quick release, quick arm, not the most fundamental release, but he's a good athlete. So he overcomes some of that. And with a good coach as he grows, he'll probably work on maybe getting that ball a little higher up in his passing point. But when he delivers it, it's a pretty good pass.
Back up a little bit, Josh.
First down and 10 at the Pirate 48. Again, back in motion. Swing pass to the right side, but good pursuit by Vero Beach.
And it'll be a no gain for the Pirates. It's going to bring up second down. Coach,
go ahead.
Coach, we were looking at this quarterback for tradition here and noticing his athleticism. We've had a couple of quarterbacks we've faced this year where they can scramble around, buy a little extra time. Those are always hard guys to defend.
Yeah, it's like playing with 12 on offense. You know, if you have a guy back there that, you know, can get involved with the quarterback run game, and you got to account for him, and then obviously just some of the ad lib athleticism that he's able to do, buy himself time, step up in the pocket, take off running. Those guys are a nightmare to prepare for.
Second down and long. A roll out to the left side, fires, almost intercepted as Taylor. Again, second time he's had his hands on that ball over the middle.
Now that time, I'm going to tell you, Taylor should have caught the ball, but he put himself in excellent position. So you can't take that away from the young man. He saw the read. He got right back where he needed to, did the perfect drop. He just needed to work on catching the ball. Maybe that's why he's playing linebacker. We'll see. I don't know. But what I do love so far, what I've seen, he's a good-sized ninth-grade kid. He looks like he's one of these kids that you look at automatically with the eye test and say, this guy's going to put on 20, 25 pounds and maybe grow a little larger. So this one you look at, man, I'm excited. But what I like so far is he's always put himself in the right position.
Third down and 11. Ball at the 47. Low snap. Ball laying around there, and Vero had a chance, but it looks like Tradition got back on top of it. Hartsky got on top of it, or tried to anyway.
Yeah, he made a good play. Hartsky saw the ball. He abandoned what his assignment, and he just dove in there and tried to get the now, you talk about an undersized nose guard. Hartsky, it's hard for me to tell how big he is from here, but I would say he's definitely not your typical nose guard, a little undersized. But I've seen guys like that on the defensive line, especially in the high school, JV level, where if you're play with proper technique and you're quick, you can really be disruptive. You don't have to be the biggest and strongest, but you got to have good technique. But what you've got to be is really quick off that ball, and Hartsky seems to have that down.
Pirates looking at a 4th and 15. Roll out to the left, looking downfield, trying to direct traffic. Pressure coming, going to let it fly down the middle of the field. Blimp ball is there, and it's incomplete. Two defenders there to try to take care of it, and it's turnover on downs.
Yeah, good penetration again by the whole right side of Vero's defense, forcing him out. And like I said, this is a quarterback that feels comfortable. You can tell he's okay. He's directing traffic. He's just throwing into a pretty good wind there. Not quite the arm strength as a ninth grader to throw on the run across your body like that. That would have been a heck of a throw. But, at 4th and 10, 12, it's just you got to get the ball down the field anyway. So if they intercept it or they knock it down, you had to throw it.
So Vero Beach going to get the ball for the first time here in the third quarter. And they'll start on the Pirate 43. First down and 10, leading 7-0 is Vero Beach. Hand off the right side to the 40, 35, down to the 29-yard line. Another good run by Randall Godwin.
Oh, nice job there by Randall. You saw a couple nice running plays in that first half. What I like there is he set that up. He was patient with his run. He set up the block, and he took his left foot, jabbed it into the ground, gave him a little head fake, and then busted it out wide. But he was patient. He let the blockers develop in front of him.
Water break. We'll take a timeout as well. It's on the 30-yard line where it'll be first down and 10 when we come back.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network. Brought to you by Cafe 66. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Got 5.5 to play here in the third quarter. Vero Beach with a nice run by Godwin gets them to the Pirate 30-yard line where it's going to be first down and 10. Indians are leading 7-0, along with GT Paris and Coach Jankowski. Paul Tipton here at the Citrus Bowl covering the freshman game here on a nice Thursday evening. Thanks for joining us here, Vero Nation. Receiver in motion. That's Woolard. He'll stop. And now another receiver in motion. Lewis to the left side.
Gets inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Coach Jay, I know you got a lot of different things you need to take care of. So tomorrow we got Glade Central. We also got some fun stuff that's going to be taking place here tomorrow night as well during halftime.
We do. So even starting before the game, we've got a youth football night tomorrow. So we've got all the youth teams coming out from the Vero Indians, the Coach Calvin Moment and his group.
Swing pass going to go to the left side. Carter on the catch, gets it close to the 20-yard line. So we got the youth, and what else is going on?
Yeah, so youth football, we're going to, the last home game was actually homecoming for us, and we recognized the 81 state championship. So we've got a couple of those guys we're going to recognize again. We've got teacher appreciation and a big teacher tailgate, which will be going on in the west end zone. Oh, goodness. Let's watch this play here.
Yeah, Gravely's going to hand off right side. Couple good blocks to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds.
I'm watching him run, and Coach, you had to have seen it too. Right away, he has the ball, and he's carrying it like we like to used to say, a loaf of bread. Mm-hmm. He's a good kid, but I could see it. You could see it coming, and when I say a loaf of bread, he's carrying it, and he's not tucked it in. They teach him high and tight. Is that right, Coach? And he had the ball, and you could almost just see it was going to get stripped.
That's the lingo, high and tight, and that was Brian Carter there, and you're right, he's a good runner, a good athlete, and really excited about him, and came from that league, from the youth football that we'll be having here tomorrow. So that's a pretty neat deal to have those kids, those coaches come out, and obviously a bunch of these guys were part of that league. So to see it, the natural transition is a pretty neat deal.
Little counter play. Banzoff had to reverse field, gets inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Coach, you did, and like I said, we didn't get to do the full homecoming game during that. You had a lot going on. You had coaching. You also had a daughter that was involved in it. Give me, who was more nervous coming into that night at the house or the whole week at your house?
I really wasn't overly involved, to be honest with you. Maybe
you were smart enough to step out?
Involved at all with the picking of the dress and all those kinds of things that are involved. But yeah, so my youngest daughter, Emma, she was part of the homecoming court, and so that was a fun deal, and for her, she was named homecoming queen, and so proud of Emma, and I think they are going to get to be recognized tomorrow at the game, and that obviously that homecoming game didn't take place, and so some of the festivities with that, and then maybe most important of everything, we are going to, with October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are going to have a pink game with to recognize and bring awareness to breast cancer. So all those things happening tomorrow. It seems like you couldn't fit it all in on a Friday night, but we're going to enjoy it and hopefully get the game in and improve a little bit from last Friday night.
Looking at a 2nd and goal from the 4 for Vero Beach. 3:21 to go, third quarter, leading 7-0. Want to add to that lead here. This time McMillan up under center. Sends his receiver in motion to the left side. Now sends another in motion. Looking to pass. Got a wide open receiver and plops it right in there. That's Woolard with the catch.
That time you line up. Vero lines up. We don't line up under center very, very rarely. So when they do, especially down there, the defense 100% is thinking run. McMillan does a great job on the fake. Finds his receiver right out there. All he's got to do is just get it out to him. That's a quarterback. You don't need to make a great pass. Just get it to him and just simple catch. And that was a good execution by Vero to put some more points on the board.
See if Lewis can tack on an extra point here. Oh, a little bit of a fake. Going to go for 2 inside. It's another catch for Woolard. And he just scored 8 points for Vero Beach.
Well, it was funny because I'm looking down and I see who's holding the ball.
I was watching his stance too.
Well, that's what I saw the stance right away where he was standing up, and I'm wondering if. And Coach, is he allowed to do that? Stand up like that, or is?
Well, he could stand up, but I think he was moving, and I think that was the penalty.
Yeah.
So
that's what I noticed. He was kind of standing up as the ball was snapped, and a little trickery there.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to wipe that one off and try here again.
Something that's pretty neat watching these guys, and credit to Coach Phillips is, both quarterbacks worked through the summer, and to get those guys both involved, Jackson Gravely and Elijah McMillan, is a pretty neat deal. Then you see, Justin Woolard, who's generations of Woolards that have been through here. His brother Keith just graduated a couple years ago. Watching him grow up as a young kid, it puts a smile on my face for sure.
Gravely looking to throw over the right side. Oh, he had his receiver. It went out and out of his hands, and it will fall incomplete. So Vero Beach will have to settle just for the 6 and make it a 13-0 lead. Coach, we really appreciate you spending some time with us. I know you got a lot of different things to take care of, and so look forward to seeing you and the boys tomorrow night here at the Citrus Bowl.
Guys, I appreciate everything. This is awesome what you guys are doing, and these freshmen are lucky to have you guys broadcasting. So thanks again.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so Vero Beach makes the most of that drive. And again, GT, what we notice here is when Vero Beach is on the plus side of the 50, they make the most of it.
Yes, so far, whenever they get the ball, you said it right, when they get good field position. But I think what they realized, Paul, is they realize they have something in the running game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They realized when they got a couple nice runs, they stayed with it. And what it did was you saw it set up the pass at the very end.
Yep.
So in a good running game will do that. Mm-hmm. It's just that they recognize, hey, I feel like we can run on this team. So, just because we line up in a shotgun or spread offense, there's so many runs out of it and that are designed runs. So once you realize, well, we can move the ball on them just because we line up in a spread, that's good coaching right there.
So Lewis is going to get set for the kickoff. Line drives down the middle. Picked up at the 15 to the 20, 25, and tackled at the 35-yard line. And Tradition now down by 13. Starts from its own 35-yard line. 1st and 10 with just under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Tradition's got plenty of time, I think. I don't think this is a time for them to panic at 13-0. We've seen they're capable of moving the ball if they don't have the penalties. The penalties have killed them tonight because they have absolutely moved the ball in spurts. But, let's see what happens here. But it's not too much to panic right now, 13-0 with 2:30 to go.
So they'll actually spawn it, I believe, at the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10. Again, a 2-by-2 setup on receivers. And Tradition down by 13. And whistle. Flag going to stop play here momentarily. And looks like it may be against Vero Beach, offsides.
He must have lined up in the neutral zone, it looked like, because I didn't see anybody move, so he may have lined up in the neutral zone, Paul.
Could be.
And just, because like I said, that's that's the line guy right down the line. He's going to probably tell the coach that's what happened. So, and on the flip side of what I said, if you're Vero, you can't just sit back and relax either.
No,
you can't sit back and go, well, we got 13. We've stopped them because they've had penalties. So you've got to come out and still play all-out reckless ball.
1st down and 5. Swing pass right side. Good pursuit and a tackle. That is Frederick with the tackle there. Wow, that was moving.
Nice job. Frederick saw it right away. He never was fooled by the screen pass there. The quarterback came out, he looks one way, and then he comes back and throws it all the way across the field, and Frederick sniffed it out, saw it, and then what I liked what it did, he wrapped his arms up. He didn't just which he could have. He could have come up and made a big, like that knockout hit, but he decided to do perfect form tackle, put his arms around him, and take him to the ground because it's a good running back there. So nice play by Frederick.
2nd down. Looks like about 6, I guess. Short 6, we'll say. Minute 35 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 13-0 lead for Vero Beach. High snap. Quick fire off the left side. Caught. And into Vero territory. Out of bounds at the 47.
Well, good pitch and catch right there by Tradition. That time they just did a simple out. Once again, our D-backs are playing a soft, back cover. They're probably right now content of giving it a little bit in front of them, but you don't want to give up that much. But just a simple out and a nice throw by the quarterback. He threw it as the receiver was making his break on the outside, so it was timed perfectly. And that's if you're playing back that far, Paul, that is a hard throw and catch to defend.
Move the change. It's first down and 10 for the Pirates, down by 13. Quick snap. Quarterback rolling out to his right. Pressure coming, and he's going to go down with a sack. That is Taylor in there, and Rupert Taylor having a good night. He's batted the ball down twice, and he's also had a sack here. Yates jumping in there as well with the half sack.
Yeah, you had Taylor coming in there and Yates coming in there. That was a nice play. We've called Taylor. Now, that time, Taylor, not playing his normal traditional middle linebacker, he was playing up on the line that time and did a good job breaking free on the middle, and then Yates coming in there and helping in on the tackle. Now, Yates came out. It looked like he might have hurt his shoulder a little bit there, so curious to see what happened there. But like I said, you're seeing Taylor. Now they're moving some of these kids around in different positions.
Second down and long. They'll make it 17. Ball back on the other side of the 50 at the 46. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Second down and long. Pump fake. Flag comes in. This looks like the area holding. Pass downfield. In and out of the hands of the receiver, who had it around the 20-yard line, but I think it would be all for naught anyway because it looks like a flag coming in, and might have got a hold on Bryant.
No. Well, I was pointing to Bryant. No, there was a hold. They held our guy out there was 94, Tyson. Tyson
okay.
did a great job. He penetrated. But what I was going to say was young Jordan Bryant read the pass. He read it perfectly because he threw it up. But he mistimed his jump by about 3 seconds. He literally jumped, and then when he came down, the ball then went over his head. So, yeah, and you could tell he was disappointed with himself because he had pretty much a free interception there. I just got a little excited. But would have been nice to get the interception, but we got the hold, and it was going to drop them back 10 yards anyway. So, But if that's one of those ones where if you win the game, you come back and you look at the film, which I don't know if they will or not, but I remember when we messed up. Paris, what you a little early on your jump there, weren't you? Yeah, Coach, I got a little excited. So,
yeah, but wasn't that was your brother probably needling you about that, wasn't it?
I would 100%. I would give you or he'd be, hey, Coach, I think this is the play coming up that you might want to watch this one. You're going to want to watch this one.
Third and long for Tradition. Swing pass going left side. Vero trying to make some tackles. Good run after the catch, gets back into Vero territory at the 48-yard line, but still a long way to go for Tradition, who's down by 13.
Yeah, long way to go. DeMarcus King came up and made the first initial hit, but he got stiff arm, but he read it, so he made it, but still kept everything in front.
That's the end of the third quarter here as Vero Beach got a score here in the third quarter. Extends its lead to make it 13-0. When we come back, it'll be the start of the fourth quarter, and Tradition looking at a fourth down situation. This is Fighting Indians football.
Since 1980, the Village Beach Market has been that local store on the beach filled with friends that always has something for everyone. And we've been Fighting Indian fans for generations. From fresh baked goods to prepared foods to chef-inspired lunches and dinners, our slogan says it best. Simply better. We're online at villagebeachmarket.com.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network. Brought to you by Cafe 66. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Well, thanks for joining us on this Thursday evening as we bring you some bonus Fighting Indians football. It's the freshman team wrapping up their season, their 8th game of the season, by the way, which in and of itself is remarkable, given if you've ever followed freshman or JV teams at all, they generally have a lot of cancellations with their schedules. And so to be able to get 8 games in, that's remarkable.
Well, I was thrilled when I was in 8th and 9th grade to get, I think, 5 or 6. I think we might have got 6 or 7 at the most, and we were thrilled to have that. And it is a tough at that level to schedule games because we are lucky. We forget how big of a school we are. Vero's got a big school, so we have a 9th grade, a 10th grade team. Most teams don't have that luxury.
4th down and 11. Tradition going for it. Flag's going to come in. It's a false start now, looking at a 4th and 16. Yeah, no, gee, you're right. I mean, it's one of those things that we've maybe we take it for granted that we've had these programs, and a lot of schools just don't have a lot of these sub-level programs.
Well, you don't get the participation. Vero is not just football, but an athletic crazy school. So you can go anywhere from soccer to basketball to lacrosse. And we have a lot of young kids that coming up and playing, and we'll talk more about that in a second after this play.
On 4th and 16, Fire over the middle of the field and air mails over everybody. Turnover on downs.
So Vero has just always been fortunate because, like I said, we are a very crazy about our sports in this town. And it doesn't matter what sport it is. We have a lot of kids that come out. So we've been spoiled in a sense that we have a 9th grade team. We have a 10th grade team. And we have kids that have been coming through the system that come up. And so we look at other schools and we're like, what do you mean you don't have a 9th grade team? Or you only have 30 guys on your JV team. So we've been spoiled, and then it's hard for us as a 9th grade to go out and get these schedules and 10th graders. So to have them do this is fantastic. It's only going to pay off in the long run. And these kids work,
Absolutely.
like I said, they work hard. They work all summer. Like Lenny said, they're in the weight room with the big boys. They're on the field with the big boys. They're doing the same thing. So for them to get these kind of games is great.
On first down, McMillan hands off. Godwin off the left side. Oh, man, did he have a lane there and got past the 40 to about the 35-yard line. That'll be enough for an Indian first down.
Yeah, he did. Boy, he got tripped up right at the end, but he just did a great job of going right off his tackles. But he followed his tackles blocked and did a fantastic job. And what I liked was he had the ball nice and high and tight. These young kids we saw earlier, one of the running backs, Carter, had it loose. That time you saw he had it high and tight.
First down, McMillan with the low snap, but he's going to let it fly. Going down the sideline, he's looking for his receiver. He's got it inside the 5. Banshoff with the catch.
Yeah, there's the kid I told you about. Banshoff, if you're going to look for something down the field or you need an exciting play, I'm going to use the word tradition, but it looks like they've gone to him. He's their guy. From what I've seen on highlights and films, and my daughter, like I said, talks about it, he's their guy that they're going to go down the field deep with or reverses. So, but what he did was a great catch.
Oh,
like I said, he's probably 5'7". He went up high. He went up high pointed, as we like to call, went up over the D-back. So the kid's got great football knowledge, great athletic ability, and I like to see where he's going to be in the next year or two.
So we got a timeout on the field here with 8:20 and counting, or actually 8:19 in the fourth quarter. It's a 13-0 lead. Vero Beach is going to have a first and goal at the 4 here in just a moment. And go ahead.
I was going to say, and some of these kids, hopefully the coaches will tell them, and Lenny talked about it with us doing this on TV. They're going to have the opportunity to go back now and watch themselves on TV, and it'll be there. Like Parker right there. I'm sure his parents are super involved and his mom's involved. They're going to go back, and he's going to be able to watch himself. He's had a couple great plays. And it is neat for these kids to be able to now go home over the weekend and watch themselves play some ball. We never had that. That would have been kind of cool to me.
They were just inventing TV when we were around.
Well, I mean, it was reel to reel. I think they were still doing the hand reel when they were doing it. We played, but
the silent movie.
Yeah, just black and white, baby.
First and goal at the 4. Elijah McMillan, and now flags are going to come in.
Probably gonna be
illegal substitution against tradition. They had too many men on the field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they broke the huddle with 12 guys.
Yeah.
And some young guys' mistakes. You had a time coming off a time off there, and you had too many out there, so that's expected, these young guys.
So that's going to move us up a little closer.
Bringing in the big boys. Bringing in the heavy package.
Yeah, we're going to go beef package here. Handoff off the gut, push, touchdown, Vero Beach. This time it's Green with the carry.
Yeah, Jakari Green, we haven't called his name out tonight, so he lined up as like a fullback. And when you bring in the heavy package like that, chances are you're going to run right behind him. And if I'm Jakari, I'm going to run right behind those big boys up front. And he did a good job. He stayed right behind him. He just stayed low, follows him, and got a touchdown. And then he stayed on his feet. So good run. Good, smart move by Dakari to run behind his big boys.
Yeah, when I see big old number 93, Jaden Barrett, come in, that's where I'm going every time. Low snap. Picked up Grovely. He tried to get Wooler. Wooler trying to shake off a few tackles, trying to turn it around, trying to get it into the end zone, and he doesn't get it there. So another 2-point conversion that does not happen, and it keeps it at 19-0 in favor of Vero Beach.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
So it only took like 3 plays to go 47 yards and a 2-yard run by Green. And a 2-point conversion failed, so it's 19-0. 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Vero Beach leading here over Tradition. Freshman game here at the Citrus Bowl tonight. Paul Tipton along with GT Paris says we're proud to cover this game. Tomorrow night, the varsity will lace it up. 7 p.m. kickoff. 6 p.m. we'll begin our countdown to kickoff coverage. Kickoff caught at the 20. Trying to stretch it to the 25. Now trying to reverse his field. And that wasn't a good idea because he ran into 3 red shirts.
Well, I can tell you this, Paul. If tomorrow night is anything like tonight right now, beautiful. This is good.
This is awesome.
This is great fall. I wouldn't say northern fall football weather, but for Florida, this is great football weather, so I'm hoping that we get the same kind of weather tomorrow night.
This is fall in Florida, man. This is as good as it gets right here.
Yeah, it is. So, and like Lenny said, I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow night. It's just to see how, one, we bounce back.
Yeah.
And then, two, I expect a good team to come in here and put up a good show, good battle.
Well, when we looked at this schedule back in July, we knew this was a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had circled that one.
Yeah,
at our meeting.
That was definitely one. I mean, we saw that stretch there with Treasure Coast and then Glades. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. Got a little bit of reverse going on here for Tradition. Got a couple of blocks, shakes off a couple tackles to the 40, push out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line, and a first down for Tradition.
Yeah, now Tradition, if you're on the defensive side, you've got to expect now. Like I said earlier, don't panic yet, 13-0, and don't panic on the defense. Well, now if I'm Tradition, I've got to start thinking, okay, I've got to start getting big chunks of field. I've got to start moving the ball down the field. And if it takes a couple reverses, a couple of deep passes, I've got to start going that for you. So if your defense, you've got to look for that. Look for the reverse. Look for any kind of trickery. Look for deep passes. Like I said, I'm content keeping everything in front of me right now. If they go for 5 yards, I'm okay with that right now.
First down and 10 for the Pirates at their own 44, down by 19. Going to look a backwards pass, looking for a double pass over the middle, and that one did not have a shot at all. Low hopper, and it's incomplete.
No, and what I loved about Vero right there, they recognized it right away. Right when they saw the and that's where you're seeing these kids are so good nowadays. They're so trained. When they see that ball go lateral back, they automatically thinking double pass because you don't typically now you won't throw it in the lateral back without doing it. So our D-backs, and especially with the 19-0 lead, they weren't fooled by it. They all stayed back. The linebacker stayed back. They didn't give them anything down the field to throw to.
Just under 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. It's a 19-0 lead for Vero Beach. On second down and 10, a keeper by the quarterback, and Taylor with the tackle, about a 2-yard gain, and looks like Taylor may be coming up a little gimpy there.
Yeah, he come up a little bit. He made a great play.
That was actually one of the other players. That wasn't Taylor.
Yeah, so the quarterback, what he did was he just takes the ball, fakes like he's going to throw, then he just it's a quarterback keeper all the way, trying to pick up 5 and 6 yards to force a third down and not so deep. That time our defensive, Taylor and the other defensive nose guards stayed home and made a great play.
So we're looking at a 3rd down and 8 for Tradition. Pirates are on their own 46-yard line. Down 19-0, and the clock continues to tick here, coming up on the 6 minutes mark remaining in the fourth quarter. Twin receivers on either side. Well, wobbly snap. Fire over the middle of the field is caught. to the 40, 35, 30, 25. Still taking a tackler with him inside the 20 to about the 17.
Hey, what a heck of a throw and catch. This, what I've said, when this quarterback is on, he has a zip of an arm. He just drilled that ball into his receiver. Receiver did a great catch. Vero came up, poor tackling. And once again, we've seen tradition that did this a couple times in the first half, have a couple big long plays, work deep into our own territory, and just hadn't come out with a score. But nice throw and catch by tradition to stay positive.
Yeah, in the first half, they had a situation, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, and they ended up, because of penalties and missed opportunities, they were backed up to the 30-yard line on a 4th and goal. No points, turnover on downs, and now here we go. Or is this going to be a timeout?
The coach is yelling at somebody. I don't know if he's yelling at the referee
unhappy with one of his
players.
but a timeout was taken by tradition. Stops the clock at 5:04. And I'm not sure if he was
probably
in on the field in time.
Yeah, he had to call a timeout because it was a flag probably going to be thrown. So it was good. Yeah, he's looking at the referee, say the good heads-up coaching there because he's already, like I said, they've already penalized themselves several times in this game, and that's the last thing they want to do is take another 5-yard loss there.
So, GT, I know Coach has to keep each game in front of him. And, we were asking him earlier about, the playoff picture and whatnot, but the way I look at it right now, based off of just the kind of the raw numbers that I see, I don't know. I mean, you never know what can happen on any Friday night.
Yeah.
But the likelihood is that Treasure Coast will win out on their district schedule. That means they will be the district champ. Vero Beach then has to look for that bottom 4 seedings left in the playoff bracket. And I think, by looking at the numbers, we need to win the remaining 3 ball games for opportunity.
I think so too. It's a little bit of a complicated system sometimes than it used to be, where like you automatic second you go in, but we have to win. It's a no question about it, Paul.
Put the ball at the 17-yard line, 1st down and 10, 5 wide for tradition. Going to go to the corner, and that is going to be well out of bounds. Had no chance.
And back to that, so this is where, your strength of schedule does really come into play.
Sure
where
does.
That, you can lose that one game, but if you play a bunch of patsies, off your off-district games where you play, and sometimes it's out, like Coach said, sometimes it's out of your control, but typically you kind of know the schools that have very good traditional football and they play good schedules, they win. So you try to look for those teams to play at that level. We picked up like a Cocoa this year. Cocoa is a good team. That's a great team. We picked up Glade Central. So these kinds you have to go out and do that. If you don't play those teams, you may not get in the playoffs.
Again, 5 wide on 2nd down and 10. Roll out left side. Wow, what a good play by Vero Beach. That's Green who snipes right in there and sacks the quarterback. Didn't go for any fakes whatsoever, G.
Good job by Dakari Green. So a minute ago we called his name for running a touchdown in.
Yep.
Now they've got him on the defense where I think he plays mostly. So he did a great job. And you said it, Paul. He didn't go for the fakes. He stayed with this quarterback and did a good job of just doing what he's supposed to do, making a nice tackle, 4th and 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's going to 3-yard loss, 3rd and 13, backed up to the 20-yard line. 4:20 and counting left in the 4th quarter. It's a 19-0 lead for Vero Beach. Pressure coming again, and another sack. Blitz called, and Taylor leading the way along with Wetmiller.
Yeah, you saw Wetmiller that time. He started walking his way up, sneaking up, and it's a blitz. It's an all-out blitz, and he did a good job. And what he did was he came from the outside in, and what happened was Taylor had such penetration, he forced the quarterback right into Wetmiller. And so by Taylor disrupting the middle, Wetmiller was able to come in and just make the big hit. So Taylor and Wetmiller have really done a great job of teaming up on that side back there. Like I said, they've moved Taylor up from linebacker to now he's playing D-end. Sometimes they drop him. So you see the versatility in this kid, and I like what I've seen at that Taylor. I like a kid that I can see, hey, get up on the line, play back a little bit, and he seems to have that football IQ.
A little credit to Coach
Yeah.
Calvin Moment over there.
Yeah.
Calvin Moment Jr. over there as the defensive coordinator dialing up a blitz there. Forcing a 4th down and 15 for Tradition, who's down by 19. This time, trips left, single on the right side. Pressure coming again. And another sack. This time, it's Wettmiller all by himself.
Wow, and Wettmiller just did exactly what I said in the first half that the guys weren't doing. He came outside in, and the quarterback, a lot of these quarterbacks will like to get out, they'll fake in, and they run around you. They use their speed to get outside. Wettmiller took that away from him. He went to the outside shoulder. He stayed on his outside shoulder, and the only place he allowed the quarterback was to go inside. And if you can do that, then you keep him contained. And you can do is if you don't have to make the tackle, you can allow somebody to come in up underneath. But Wettmiller stayed there, back-to-back, big plays, sacks by Wettmiller. Good football player right there.
Yes. Bear will start from its own 30, up by 19. McMillan slings it out to the right side and just a little too high for Schoenfield.
Yeah, that time he had a bad pass, just a little, like you said, just about probably about 3 or 4 inches too high. Letting Schoenfield come, get some of these other names in there, get some catches. I'm sure their parents do too.
Second down and 10. Vero Beach, 2:38 to go. McMillan with the low snap, picks it up. Receiver screen off the right side. Flag comes in. Past the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Diligent on the catch. Flag's probably bringing this one back.
Yeah, I see the referee, the judge, he's indicating a hold. He called that right away. So he's looking right down. What it was a screen pass, and I think what it was, the receiver on the outside just grabbed him enough to hold him and did it right in front of him.
So take what would have been a first down for Vero Beach will turn into a second down and long for Vero Beach. Gee, back on the deal with the varsity and the playoff picture. Yeah. To your point, Glade Central, that's a really good team. They're coming in 4-3, but they've really played a tough schedule in their own right. Then you've got Fort Pierce Central. They've had their struggles, but that's a district contest. It's a rivalry. You can't ever take that one lightly. And then you finish up with Jacksonville Reigns, another powerhouse team that's coming in here. So it's going to be a real tough stretch here for Vero Beach on these last 3 weeks. Quick pass, caught. Wow, what a good catch by Sanford. He had to go down, and it was kind of behind him, but he still was able to bring that one in.
That was a big league catch there. Sanford did a slant, and he just did a 3-step, comes in, and like McMillan threw it behind him. Sanford stops, puts his brakes on, has to go back, catch the ball with his hands, does a great job. That's a big-time catch.
It's going to be a one of the Pirates led on the field. That should have been offsides. Instead, Banshoff with the catch. Won't have enough for a first down. It's going to be fourth down. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how they missed that one, but one of the Pirates was like about a yard and a half across the line before the snap.
Yeah. He's a small little guy. Maybe the referee's thinking, let's get this game going finally. But they threw a couple legs. But so now if you're Vero, just let this clock go down, let it go down, eat up a lot of time here. That was one thing we didn't do. I was surprised we were going so fast.
Yeah. So it's fourth down. Looking like for a double pass. McMillan, he's going to let it fly. Banshoff's there. He's got it. Foot race. 10-5. Touchdown. Boom.
Wow, that's a big play. It's late in the game. I was not expecting a double pass.
A double pass. Wow.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
but
me either.
You saw the great execution. Hey, these kids want to play. They play hard. They play every game. But what a great execution! You threw it out there to McMillan was your receiver. McMillan's the one that threw the ball.
Yeah. So you had Gravely take the snap.
Yeah,
Gravely take the snap. Double pass to McMillan, a backwards pass.
Yeah.
And then McMillan just let it fly. And, Tradition sucked up on the first pass, and Banshoff was wide open. 66-yard reception.
Tradition did exactly what we didn't do earlier on the backwards pass on the double lateral. So, good job.
Trying to go for two and do not get it, but a late flag comes in from the side.
Yeah, they're going to call it on the offense, so they're going to don't know what he called, but they're going to decline it either way.
Yeah, so it's 25-0 for the Fighting Indian freshman team. 38 seconds to go. Got one kickoff coming up here, and then he just basically probably one play here before we end this ball game.
Little surprised by the double pass.
Yeah,
a little surprised by that at this point in the game.
It's the last game of the year for these guys
I know.
too.
Yeah, like I said, if it would have been a high school team, I would probably be a little bit more disappointed. But it's ninth graders.
Yeah.
You're giving everybody a little chance to get in the game, do something special. This is, like you said, it's the last game.
Yeah.
It's the last game that they're going to have this year, and some of these kids may not. We always say it. They may not go on and play at the next level, at the 10th and the juniors and the varsity.
Right.
So this could be some of their last times they play. Yeah. It happens every year.
So Lewis will get set to kick off for Vero Beach here in just a moment. Tomorrow night, Vero Beach is back here at the Citrus Bowl. Returns home after the road loss to Treasure Coast. The varsity squad will lace it up and play Glade Central here tomorrow night. 7 p.m. kickoff, 6 p.m. we begin our countdown to kickoff coverage. Short kick by Lewis. It's going to take a hop and will go out of bounds off of Tradition right around about the 25-yard line. We'll see if the varsity squad can rebound tomorrow night after that loss and get back on the winning track here. But Glade Central, that's a tough team.
Tough team. In all the years that Lenny's been here, it's, if he has been beat, it's been usually right by the end of the game. We don't see a lot of times we get beat by 3 touchdowns or more. So we knew Treasure Coast was going to be a good football team, but last week they clicked on everything, and I think we just weren't quite ready for them for that, and they pounded us. But let's see how we recover and come against the team tomorrow night. Coach Lenny said they had a great practice going into Treasure Coast. He said he thought he had a great practice this week.
4 receiver set, quick pass to the 30-yard line, trying to push ahead, stopped at about the 33-yard line. Maybe Tradition gets one more play here as we're at 21 seconds and counting. The Pirates can either run a play or not if they choose.
I think they're going to try to run a play.
Yeah, we're at 10 seconds here. See if they get this one off. 5 seconds. Not sure if they're paying attention to the clock or not. Yeah, there's a snap. Final play of the game. Quarterback trying to elude all kinds of tacklers. Gets to the 45, to the 50, and he just lowers his shoulder and makes some contact right at about the 40. Ray Hall stops the quarterback, and that will do it for the ball game, folks, as Vero Beach wins this 25-0.
Yeah, nice win. Nice way to go out on your season. You
6-2.
6-2, and you played a pretty decent game tonight against. I saw some talent on Tradition.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Tradition, I'm not walking away. I know we got beat 25. Not we, but they got beat 25-0. But I think they did some good things tonight. They showed some athletes. But Vero, what I liked about Vero was they never gave up, even when they were down on 4th and 2. A penalty here, a penalty there, and then they just kept pushing back, and then they finally clicked on offense.
Well, as the team tried to
work
get
on that.
Coach Zoe. The thing about Coach Alonzo Phillips is that he's still in very good shape, and it's going to be challenging for those kids to catch that guy.
Yeah, that was one of the poorer efforts I saw tonight. Right there was the Gatorade toss. But hey, they're down on the field. Yep. They're jumping around. Their season is done. They're having fun. This is what it's all about.
It
Paul.
is.
Really,
it is.
You love to see this joyous attitude from these kids because this is really what it's. When you're that young, and really even into the high school and the high, it should be this fun when you win, especially when you win.
So that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. We really appreciate you joining us here tonight, and as we'll get set for tomorrow, make sure you tell. I know that this year we've been doing some experimenting and doing some things through Quick Cut and all that. We're basically going to finish out the remainder of the season through our video streaming that you want to see will be available on YouTube from here on out for this season. We want to thank our executive producer of Christian FM Sports, John Hamilton. Our field engineer tonight has been Kevin Boslaw. Our video director is Jay Kendall. Our camera operators were Kenneth Loans and Ian Sal. We had a great time here tonight covering the first game. We look forward to tomorrow night's game with the varsity squad. Kickoff at 7 p.m. against Glade Central here at Billy Livings Field. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. with countdown to kickoff. Vero Beach Fighting Indians football is a presentation of Vero Nation Network and Christian FM Sports. Paul Tippett